Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Jason again with your Monday morning devotional, or whatever time you're watching this. I was out here the other day. We're not inside the kitchen, obviously, today. I was outside the other day, and I was digging up some of our beds to plant some greens in, plant some kale in, and I noticed that I had an issue in there, and it reminded me of something, so I wanted to share it with you this morning. I got in there and I started digging around, and I noticed that there was this going on in here. See all that? Roots. There's all these roots. Now look at that. Pulling up. A lot of them, see? All that. You can see all those roots there. All these roots. It's coming from something we didn't plant. See? It's all coming from something we didn't plant. In Hebrews 12, it says, "See to it that no one misses the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many." No bitter root grows up to cause trouble. So often in our life, we have something inside of us that we're not sure is there. Bitterness. Bitterness is a big deal. Bitterness can cause all sorts of trouble in your life. Bitterness can cause you doing things that you don't realize is going on. Causes you to treat people differently, to react differently. Warps your perspective. Okay, it warps how you view things in life, and because it can cause all sorts of issues going on inside of you. And honestly, it's very difficult. I mean, I know people who are just bitter, and they don't even realize it. It causes them a whole lot of problems. I mean, it's a warped way of thinking. It's a warped viewpoint of life. It's everything, and there's no reason for it amongst God's people. Okay, there just isn't. There's no reason to be bitter amongst God's people. And I've noticed that when you're bitter, you can't grow. You can't grow anything. Just like if I was going to plant something in that bed there with all those roots, it would not grow up to its fullest potential, because there's all these roots growing in amongst it to choke out the life that is trying to grow. And see what the crazy thing is? That root there, it's come from something we didn't even plant necessarily. It's probably coming from a tree that was cut down over here on the back side already, which, again, maybe you thought you had something cut out of your life. Maybe it's something in your past that you thought you were over, but yet that bitterness from it is still inside of you, affecting how you view things, affecting how you act about certain situations. Maybe you're harboring unforgiveness. Maybe you're harboring unforgiveness in your heart, and you're bitter because of it. You're not going to grow until you can get rid of that. Until you can get rid of that bitterness. Honestly, you got to forgive it, move along, get it out of there. God's forgiven you so much. You got to forgive other people as well. And you cannot allow a bitter root to stay inside of your heart. If a root of bitterness stays inside of your heart, it can absolutely ruin your life. It can ruin everything about it. You'll wind up ruining relationships. Well, if you're bitter, honestly, you could be harboring bitterness about a relationship in your past, whether it be a hurt that somebody had forced on you, like an ex-spouse or somebody that you were dating that harmed you emotionally or physically or whatever. And you're just staying bitter because of it, and all of a sudden you just have this hatred towards the opposite sex for whatever reason, or maybe you have a hatred toward or a skewed viewpoint of marriage because of that. All sorts of things, that bitterness can absolutely destroy you on. And if you let that bitter root stay in there, you're not going to grow to your full potential. You're not going to be able to grow and produce fruit. And honestly, to be the person that God wants you to be, that God's designed you for you to be, while holding on to that bitterness, you're not going to be able to do it. And maybe honestly, you could even begin being affected by bitterness from being around people who are bitter. Okay, and that's not good either. If you see a relationship that's causing you to hold on to bitterness, you gotta get rid of it. In James chapter 3, verse 13, we'll start there. It says, who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show it by his good life, by deeds done, and the humility that comes from wisdom. Verse 14 here. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom's in quotation marks, okay? Such wisdom does not come from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, and of the devil. Okay? So, if you want to claim to be wise, if you claim to have any kind of wisdom, but yet you're going to harbor bitterness and envy and selfish ambition inside of your heart, that kind of wisdom, that's wisdom, you know, sarcastic wisdom. That kind of wisdom doesn't come from God. It's of this world, and it's of the devil. It's evil. So I want to encourage you today to search your heart. Okay, ask God to search you. Ask God to reveal things to you, and say, hey God, if I'm holding on to bitterness inside of my heart for any reason at all, just let me know. Let me know if there's any bitterness in there. Be open to hearing what God really has to say to you. You know, be attentive to that. Pay attention, and He'll let you know. But I really want to encourage you to get rid of anything like that. If you're holding on to bitterness, let it go. Forgive people. Forgive people and move along. Doesn't mean you have to be buddies with them. Just forgive them and move along. It's okay. If you know of anybody that's going to benefit from this, just share it. Share it on your social media, whatever. Let's get the word out there. Please, absolutely, give us prayer requests in the comments, okay? Comments from prayer requests below. Angela and I are going to be happy to pray for you. We really would consider it an honor and a joy to pray for you in your situation. You ain't got to be specific. Just let us know. There's something to be prayed about, okay? I thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. God bless you. Goodbye.